Alright, so hi, it's Alan back again, and so this is my second video in the series of my CDL training and my work with Stevens Transport. So I wanted to, I'm not trying not to say so too many times, I've said it 3 times so far in the first couple of minutes. But here we are. I'm actually in Daytona Beach, and unfortunately our truck has got some mechanical issues, so it's kind of stopped us from doing much work. But in the meantime, I hope there's no gators in there, it looks pretty nasty. So in the meantime, let me tell you about Stevens Transport and orientation. Heard a lot of rumours about orientation, and most of them are not true. Let me tell you. First of all, the Lunar Lodge. We stayed in the Lunar Lodge. I was there for over a week, booked in on a Sunday. They reimburse you for the travel at Stevens, and what I did was I drove a car down. You can get a flight, you can go on the bus, which I wouldn't recommend. What I did was I hired a car, drove down, and got reimbursed for the cost of the car, which I thought was the best way of doing it. So drove down there, got down there on a Saturday, got booked into the Lunar Lodge. Now the Lunar Lodge isn't the Beverly Hilton, I'll say that straight away. But I heard a lot of nasty stories about the place, about it having bed bugs and filthy and so on and so forth. And it wasn't filthy. Like I say, it wasn't the Beverly Hilton, but it wasn't filthy. The food was, adequate. The bedroom was nothing special. You have to share a room, that's one thing. I was lucky because I got to share a room with a guy called Robert, and we got on really well. We actually did orientation together, and then we watched Star Trek on a night time of all things, which was good. But good guy, enjoyed him as a roommate, so I got lucky there. He said the roommate he had before him said like 2 words to him in the 4 days he roomed with him, which was "bless you" after he sneezed. But that's just another story. You can't blame Stevens for having some less than conversational roommates. So anyway, so you share a room. The rooms are not bad. They're not great. It's not the Beverly Hilton, but it's for a trucker, it's fine. We went to orientation. Orientation's Monday. We did Sunday. We were off Monday because it was a holiday, and then it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sunday we did some classroom or did some driver training. Monday we were off. The Lunar Lodge provided a all-you-can-eat barbecue for us, which was okay, burgers and other stuff, general barbecue food. And then we had Tuesday was the long day. Tuesday we start at 6 a.m. and you do your drugs test on the morning from 6 till 8, so you get your first thing, so you have to provide a sample. And then from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock it's classroom and then driver training. So from 8 o'clock we were doing classroom till 5:30. At 5:30 they provide the lunch. They provide your lunch and your supper. And then from 5:30 you have something to eat, and then you go out onto the training pads, or the hill as they like to call it. And then you do driver training. It's various obstacles, mainly reversing, but there's other things that you do, predominantly reversing, because let's be honest, truck driving a semi, the hardest part is reversing. Driving forward isn't too bad, but reversing, is an acquired skill, and the more practice you can get, the better, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, rumor. I'll dispel another rumor. They say that they get far more people than they need, and then they cut them there and then. So what I was told was 200 to 300 people, and then whittle it down to about 50 by the end of the week. That is utter bullshit. It's not true. Everybody who came, the only people who were cut were 3 guys at the end of it who were complete assholes. If you're watching this and you know who you are, then you know who you are. It makes a lot of sense. But they were complete assholes, and they decided not to sign the contract. So they didn't get cut. They actually decided not to. They decided not to join Stevens. They weren't happy with the contract. I couldn't understand it, because they took the training, and now they've got to pay for the training themselves. So that's one of the good things about Stevens. They will pay for your CDL, or the large proportion of it. You do have to pay a small amount yourself. But if you do walk away from that contract, and it is a contract, then you pay the cost, the 100% of the cost. So the guys just dicked about all week. There's 3 of them. They sat on the same table, total knobheads. and then they decided not to sign the contract. But nobody was cut. If you are cut, it's because you lied about something on your application, like you were a felon or something like that. You failed a drugs test, something along them lines. They're not looking to cut you. Usually it's something stupid you've done yourself. So nobody's looking to get cut. Nobody's looking to cut the numbers down. They don't over fill the places. They genuinely want drivers out there. So anyway, we go through. You do take a driving test at the start. It's not really a test. Nobody fails. It's just to see where you are and what you need work on. And there is a test when you attend grad school, which is at the end of your 6 weeks training. So anyway, I went through orientation. Our training finished on a Friday. It was a little bit later for us because we had the day off, so it was a little bit later. And then I got assigned a trainer immediately. Another myth is that you wait weeks for a trainer. I got one straight away. A guy called Mark, who I'm with now. I've been with him for over a week. We get on fine. We get on great. There's no problems there. We are doing a lot of miles. He likes to get a lot of miles, so it's good for me. I've got six levels to get through over the 6 weeks. I'm on level 2 now, and I'm only into the first day of level 2, and I've got the required amount of driving hours for level 3. So we're doing a lot of miles. He lets me do the vast majority of the driving, which is great, and having a blast. The only problem is now we were coming down I-95 last night at Daytona Beach, near Daytona Beach, and the truck has actually developed a fault. We think it's a computer glitch, but it won't let us change out of gear, and so we're kind of parked at the side of the road. Seen some great sights while I've been here, some great states. Been to New Mexico and Arizona. We've been over Missouri, Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Indiana, Michigan, all over the place. We've done a lot of miles in this last week. It's a great way to get to see the country. Thoroughly recommend it. If that's the sort of thing that you're after, then go for it. Go for it with Stevens. I've enjoyed it. Training is fine. Training's adequate. The orientation is fine. They're not looking to overfill. They're just looking to get people in there and offer them opportunity to work. I mean, obviously Stevens are all about making money, and money's their main priority. But other than that, it's great. So hope you enjoy the second video. Once I get settled in and I get my cameras set up on my own truck, which will be a month and a half, 2 months from now, then I'll start showing you some travel videos. But for now, this is all you get. And this is Alan King signing off on both sides of the pond. Take it easy, man.